everyone, and a very happy Monday. I do hope that you've had a great start to your week, and it is the beginning of the month. Okay, it may be not the first, but it was the first yesterday. That meant that we did release a new Build-A-Flower. So today I am going to be taking a look at that one, which is the Build-A-Flower Fashion Monger. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I can see you all popping in. Hello there, Diane and Badia. Hey there, just popping in to say hi. Hi, Badia. Cece. Hi there, Daniel, Connie, and everyone else that has popped in. The lovely Kathleen is behind the badge today, and she will be popping in those links. She's also given me a little nudge. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Alton New store. So hello there, everyone. Thank you for joining me, and I'm going to pop you guys down. I had something else to say, but it's gone. So I am sorry about that, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing as well. So I'm going to pop you down to my tabletop so we can take a look at the new things. So this is the Build-A-Flower Fashion Monger. And as you know, with our Build-A-Flowers, we do release a new one every month on the first of the month. They are a layering stamp set. And they are also 6x8, and then you're also going to get a matching die, which is going to cut out those images that you have in the stamp set. So as you can see, we have a really large Fashion Monger Dahlia here, and we have a number of layers that fit within and 2 different leaves there as well. So if I flip this over, you can see that we do have inspiration in here, and here is our layering guide. So if you are new to layering, you will be able to layer this up quickly and easily by just using this layering guide. You can also use the little cards that we have in here to help layer up, because these are 100%. So if you pop these in your stamp positioning tool, you can then kind of wiggle them around onto this because it is 100%, and that is going to help you quickly and easily layer this up. So after that, and I can take a breath, let's go ahead and stamp this up, layer up. What I do when I first get my stamp sets, I have already done it, but I'm going to do it just to show you again. If you do find that your ink isn't sitting very well on your stamps, it's a good idea to get an eraser. We do have these stamp conditioning erasers in the store, and they are fabulous. And all I do is I just kind of rub over the surface of the stamp. It will take away any of the shininess that is there, and it's going to give you a really great base to start stamping with. Sometimes the ink and the stamp aren't the best of friends when they do start off. But if you use this, they will be good friends from the off. Okay, so I just kind of go over everything before I remove anything off there. And that makes it clean and easy for me. Okay, so I have a piece of white cardstock off to the side. This is a piece of Nina Classic Crest Solar White. And I'm going to use my stamping block. You can use your stamp positioning tool really easy with these, but I'm old school. I do love my block. Please let me know if you want me to zoom in, and I will do that for you. This one is the Obsidian Pigment Black, and this is my favorite black of all time. And I'm going to be using this for the outline. We do have the number of stamps on here. So we have A1, A2, and so forth. So you know which stamp is going to go next in the sequence. Naomi, yep, I do love those stamp conditioning erasers. So I'm going to stamp my outline there. And I'm also going to do my leaves while my ink is out. So I have C1, and there's also B1 too. These leaves are so detailed. I love them. Look how beautiful they are. Just going to grab a baby white. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Also, because it's me doing the live, I would love to hear your happy news or, you know, your good news that you have. Maybe something happened over the weekend that you would like to share. That would be nice. I'm a bit nosy, but I also like good news because as it is, my husband doesn't not allow me to watch the news because I don't do well with bad news. So good news is always good. Oh, Sue, I'm excited for you to get your new set. It is very, very pretty. I do love this one. Sue, yep, old school block user. I just love it. I feel like I'm a little bit quicker with these, I feel, than I am with the other things. Yeah. I am going to use some really bright colors on mine today. So I have the greens from the Spring Bouquet set. So if you do get these in the mini cubes, they do come in a set of 6. You get 3 greens and 3 pinks. Oh, Nancy received hers on Saturday. Nancy, they are very easy to line up. So I'm glad that it's not just me saying it. Nancy says it too. These ones are easy. So I'm going to take this one. This is the base layer of the leaf. And as you can see, it's just going to fit within that outline that we have there. And then I'm going to do the same for this one. And this one is the limeade that I'm using. I'm sorry that I didn't mention it. I did get some new cardstock today. I was running very, very close to running out last week. And I was, you know, when you have to go through your scrap drawer to see if you have any white cardstock, that's the predicament I was in last week. So my good news today is I do have new white cardstock. So I'm happy. Oh, Naomi ordered the paints. I will be using some watercolors today as well. So yay. I'm glad you have ordered them. I'm then going to move on to the detail layer. And for this one, I'm going to be using the lime. Beautiful. Just going to be lining up the tip and the base. I'm sorry if you get to see my silver highlights if I get my head in the shot. Oh, Rosie. I'm sure you can. I just love my black. And lime again. Again, base and tip for this detail one here. And those are the leaves complete. I'm just going to lift them up so you can see just how pretty they are. I do love them. Okay. So let's go on with the flower. So I am going to need my larger block for this because the flower is quite sizable. So I'm going to go for A2. And if I lift this up, you can see that this is just going to fit within that outline that we have there. And I do line up this kind of pointy petal because it's the only pointy petal there. And I find that that's a good way to go with lining this one up. Okay. I think this is the Cherry Blossom set. So this one is the Rose Quartz, Puffy Heart, Purple Wine, and Cosmic Berry. It's one that I don't really reach to very often. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. So I'm going to go with a Puffy Heart today. I just want to make sure that I have enough for all of the layers. And I think I'm good to go. So I'm going to go with Puffy Heart. Sue, Sue's been spending her time with her little grandson. Oh, bless him. Chasing the seagulls. Oh, I love it when my littles were little. They're not that little anymore. We've also been, I mean, it's not the beach, but we've been going to a lake at the weekends, and we've been doing paddleboarding. So all of the Evanses now, so that's me, my husband, and my 2 little ones, can actually stand up on the paddleboard now, which I didn't think we were going to be, well, I didn't think I was going to be able to. My little girl, she got it straight away because there is no weight to her whatsoever. So I wasn't thinking that she wouldn't get it. But I stood up. My legs did hurt for a couple of days afterwards. So this is the purple wine. And again, I'm lining up this pointy petal first. And it's going to kind of go around those inside petals. It's not going to darken those. So it's kind of just giving the shading underneath those ones. Hello, everyone else that has popped in. Please let us know your good news. I'm nosy. I want to know everyone's good news. So, sorry. There is my A3 down. And then I'm going to move on to A4. And you can see just how easy these are to line up. I don't think we're going to have a problem with these ones. Again, pointy petal. I'm going to go for that pointy petal. And down. That one was the Cosmic Berry. So it was the rose petal, not the cherry blossom. Sorry, Kat. I'm sorry. Those two. I need to get a little bit more clued up on those two. I always get them wrong. Stacey, yeah, it has been really fun. I didn't think that I would enjoy it as much as I am, but it's good. And if you know me, you know that I don't choose to do physical education, PE, or exercise. That's the word I was looking for. So I'm going with pumpkin pie for this one. So that we're actually doing things like that as a family is really cool. Renee, oh, August Sunshine. Oh, I'm so glad that you're getting veggies. Yay. I'm so impressed that you're growing your own vegetables, which is cool. And then I'm going to go with the Sicilian Amber for A6. And for these centerpieces, I don't feel that they need to be lined up perfectly. As long as they're in there, it is going to look good. Okay, and going in. Okay, hopefully we're good there. Sorry about the little wiggle. So there is my flower and leaves all complete. And as we know, with the builder flower, we do get the matching dies, which are going to cut around these. So I'm just going to cut these just so I can fit them in my mini blossom. Grab my little mini blossom. Also, if you do want to see how this layers up more closely, you can check out the layering video that is on the website. So if you go on to the product page for this one, you can go and see an intro video and also a layering guide video. So it will show you how to layer up the flower and also the leaves too, without me chatting. So, well, I am chatting, but I'm chatting about how to layer it up rather than just chatting. So I am going to place the die into place just around the image. I'm going to do the same for the leaves. Hopefully I can fit everything on here in one pass. I know. Renee does need to give out tips because I am not very green fingered at all, unless it comes to ink, and I can get green ink everywhere, but planting flowers and keeping them alive, that's not my forte. Okay, so I have all of my images on there, top plate on, and then run that through. Okay, so that one slid a little bit, but I think we're going to be okay. There we go. So let's create a bit of a background. So what I wanted to do, instead of doing ink blending that I always do, or other different techniques, I thought it might be fun just to use my ink pad. I haven't done this for a while, so hopefully it's good. So I'm just going to take my ink pad, and I'm trying to get this in the center of my little panel. Oh, thank you, Sue. Oh. Okay, and I'm just going to press this down, and hopefully it will kind of give like a little matte and layer on here without actually doing a whole lot. Oh, that's a good idea, Renee. Yay! So there's my little panel that we have going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these on, but I don't want the kind of white edges on the black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of place my image, and I'm just going to make a little guideline on my flower there and there of where I want it to be black. So I mean, I don't think you guys are going to see that. I'm sorry, but I can see it. I'm trying to find a piece of scrap paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on this side with my black marker. I just have my jet black. I'm just going to go up to that guideline. So that's where my guideline was. And there. Okay, it's not perfect, but it means I'm not going to have that white line on the black bit that we have. Okay. You don't necessarily need an artist marker for this. Just a normal black pen would work. Fine liner pen, whatever you have. I haven't tried a biro or a ballpoint pen that you can get from any other maker, but this works perfectly. Yeah, you can use it with all different ink pads, and if you do it with the oval ink pads, like these ones, you'll get an oval, which is quite cool too. So ovals are quite hard to do on their own. So doing it with an oval ink pad really does help. So once I have that one down, I can then kind of position my leaves. Thank you, Kat. Kat's just popped in a link there for the layering guide video. So if you do want to kind of watch that, you can go in and check that out. Okay. So I'm kind of lining those up again, but this is dry now, so I can lean these on, add my little marks on. I'm always a little bit frugal with my papers, especially my black paper, because I normally use those for my sentiments. So anything that gets me around using up my precious cardstocks, which I shouldn't really hoard, but I do, I will kind of do. On one hand, I'm telling everyone to use their pattern papers while they love them, and then on the other hand, I'm showing them how to not use cardstock. Very contradictory there, Lydia. So it doesn't really take that much effort, but I find that adding that black mark around them really does make them look a lot nicer and neater. I can't see where I put my guideline on this one, so I'm just going to guess. I'm glad a lot of you haven't used an ink pad before, not because I didn't want you to use one, but because I have shown you something a little bit new. So I'm glad I've been inspired you to grab some things out of your craft stash today. Yes, use it, but use it wisely. Hey, Teresa. Okay, so I have my little images. I can then pop these down. I'm going to use my Altenew foam roll. Oh, I love it. I just love the back paper on this. It is just too pretty. We need to find a way of using the beautiful backgrounds on this paper. I reckon we can. Okay, so I'm lining that up. Pop that one in. Kind of lining up my lines again. If they're not perfect, I'm not going to worry too much. And then last but not least, we have this one. My tape's a little bit large. It's okay. If you do have these pieces lying around, I would always recommend sticking them onto the back of another backing piece. So that way they don't stick to anything else, because they are particularly sticky. Wiggle it in. I may need to add a little bit more of my black marker. That's okay. I must have put it in a different position. There we go. All I would need to do is add a greeting or sentiment to that one, and that one is done there. Okay, so that is one way to use it, and you can use your ink pads as a little background layer. I also wanted to do a little bit of watercoloring too. Okay, grab some watercolor cardstock. As we're going to be cutting it out, I'm going to take this scrap piece, because I am trying to use all of the scraps that I managed to find over last week. Okay. As we're going to be embossing, I'm going to add some anti-static powder down. Oops. There we go. Beautiful. And it smells good too. Grab my block again. Move that over there. Right out of the way. I'm going to be using some, let's go with silver. This is only because that's what I grabbed. So that's what we're using. And some clear embossing powder, embossing ink. Just kind of creating a funnel with that. And let's go again. So, I need to remember to turn my heat tool on. There we go. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone, and for spending time with me on this Monday, or Tuesday if you're in fact over into tomorrow. Okay, I'm just going to heat set this. I think I'm going to do 2 flowers. Maybe not so many leaves. Let's see how many we can do. I'm hoping 3. I'm hoping I can fit 3 leaves on. Oh, heat embossing will always be magical. I think it's one of the things that got a lot of people into crafting, just to see this powder melt. The haze, yeah, this one is the Build-A-Flower Fashion Monger Dahlia. So if you are on the subscriptions, you may have already received it, which is exciting. The fact that you've got it before I even done my live. There's one. Don't think I'm going to fit 3 leaves on, so I really want to. Yep, it is a really big image. And you can use lots of them if you wanted to create a whole background, or it can stand just on its own. I love that the Build-A-Flowers are a really big flowers, so you can definitely do that with them. Okay, I think I'm just going to have to go with 2 leaves today. Ugh. I wanted 3, but my scrap piece of cardstock will only allow 2. But if you're at home, go for as many leaves as you want. I'm going to move that out of the way into the pot. I was just going to move it out of the way, and I thought, no, get it in the pot, Lydia. Because the amount of times I have tipped my embossing powder. Okay. So what I'm going to do before I start colouring with these, I am going to chop the flowers away from the leaves. You'll see why. We're going to go really messy with these. I'm just going to grab some watercolor brush markers. Ugh. And I didn't even see which one I grabbed, so it was a surprise for me that I have the Winter Wonderland set. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to go for Emerald and Mountain Mist for the leaves. Flowers, maybe we go kind of purpley or peachy. Peachy, sorry. Can't help myself. All right, so I have my markers. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add some emerald to the bottom of the leaves. See how perfectly I added that on? Not. And some of the Mountain Mist, just scribble that on. And I do want kind of a bit more variant in these. Oh, but Weekend Doodles and the Build-A-Flower iris is really cute too. Okay, and then I'm just going to take some water on my paintbrush. I'm just going to scribble it on. There we go. Same with that one. Okay, clean my brush off. Move that over to the side so it can dry. I want to make sure that green's off there before I start. All right. I thought these weren't connected together, but they are. So I'm going to take my rouge, add that around there, just kind of creating a circle. And then the Citrus Burst around the outside. Now, it doesn't matter if you touch a different color with these. There's a one-way valve in here, so it'll only let ink out. It won't let it up. So even if you do touch a really dark color with a light color, it's not going to kind of destroy the ink that you have in the barrel. So don't worry. Okay, maybe a bit more there. Wet paintbrush again. And I'm just going to wet it. I just love how kind of reactive these are. I should have cleaned my brush off a little bit more. We're not going to get as much of that yellow on this one. I do love that kind of tangerine color that we've created. Okay. Let's go with some yellow in the center. Maybe a touch of green too, just to make it a little bit different because we've got the yellow in the flower. Is emerald pushing it? Maybe just maybe. Yeah, Connie, one of my favorite color combinations with flowers is yellow and orange. I don't yellow and pinks. I don't know why. I just love it. Okay. You'll see just how quick and easy it is to watercolor, and I am just gonna heat set this. Carol, I reckon anyone can do this. My little girl easily does this as well. So yeah, grab out your embossing powders, emboss those images, and definitely just slap some color on. It's really easy. Okay, so that's my images. They may be a little bit damp, but I'm gonna die cut these anyway so we can create the background. Where did I put my plates? May need to trim these apart. So even if you go over, no one is going to know. As soon as we cut these out with the dies, you're not going to be able to see those edges. So do not worry, do not fret. I think this must be the easiest watercolor technique there is out there. And I love when builder flowers have the layers and also the outline, so you can do so many different techniques with the same stamp set. So pretty. And the leaf too. And then we have the other one. Kind of reminds me of a really pretty sunrise, these colors. Where's that leaf gone? There he is. Hello, Vanessa, and everyone else that has joined us. Thank you so much for sharing and for spending your time with us. Also, let me know if you're crafting along with me. It doesn't necessarily need to be with this set, but if you are crafting, it would be nice to know. I don't really get to craft along with people, so it would be nice to know if you are. I love my little mini blossom, especially for die cutting out images such as these, because it can stay on my desk without kind of getting in the way. It's just cute. And I keep my tape on there as well. Let's move that over. Okay. So we have all of these. I definitely would do another leaf. I do want to kind of add a little bit more texture to these. So you guys that watch my lives often know what I'm going to do. So I have the woodless watercolor pencils here, and I'm going to add a little bit more detail to them. Oops. Before I go in, I am going to see what color works best with this kind of mix that we have here. So I'm just going to grab kind of pinky tones. I'm thinking that one's going to be it, but it's always good to try the others. Oh no, I think this one might be good. That's crimson. And that one is heartbeat. I'm thinking crimson's going to be for this one. So I'm not going to use these as watercolor pencils. I'm just going to be using them as dry pencils. Oh, Rosie, I do need to do that too. You'll inspire me over the weekend to maybe try and tidy up because I'm not great when it comes to tidying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to add some flicks of color. It's not perfect, but I do find that this adds a really beautiful touch, especially when you have that really great blending. I wouldn't be able to kind of get this detail with that. So I'm just flicking away. And you can always check out the layering guide on where the layer would be for this. And that'll give you an idea of where to put the darker shade in as well. Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm concentrating. Okay, nearly there. Just add in those quick details in. You can see just how pretty that is there. So I have my images. I then have another piece of cardstock. Let's create another easy background. Hi, Donna. Thank you for joining us. So this technique is inspired by the amazing Urim. So I'm going to pop some inks there. I need something to keep it there. All right. Okay. Grab my water. I'm just going to add some water down here. Now I didn't clean my brush, which isn't great, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to be adding a really dark color on. So I'm making sure that I've got a lot of water at the top, really. Kind of add in some start of drips because I do want it to drip on its own. And I have the jet black. So this again is from those watercolors that we just had. What was them? The Winter Wonderland. Okay, so I just squidged that water on. I'm going to lift it up a little bit so we get more of a... it's just like ink black. It's beautiful. Okay. Okay, so this was inspired by She does lots of drippy backgrounds like this. I mean, it can create a bit of a mess. Trying to get it more on this side than the other. Pick up some of that ink. Don't want to waste it. You could have some splatter as well if you wanted to. Okay. I think I'm going to step. Okay. Clean my brush up a little because I do not want a black paintbrush going anywhere else. I'm just going to dry this off a little bit too. Okay, it's not completely dry, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so there we go. Now, with these ones, because we have that color coming over the edge of the actual image itself, I don't feel that I need to put a black edge on here, but you can if you wanted to. I would just do it exactly the same way as I did with this. The watercolor paper will take a black marker, so don't worry about that. And let's pop my little flowers on. I know it's going to cover up most of those beautiful drips that we've just created, but I do find I really like this technique. Thank you for the inspiration. So I'm going to add my flowers there. So I'm just going to flip them up, pop a piece over the two. So I, in theory, now just have one die cut. Pop that down. And then add my leaves on too. Yep, Carol, give that a go too. It'll be beautiful. And you can see how quick and easy it is too. Have my leaves in. Again, I would have a leaf up here. I'm sorry that I couldn't fit an extra leaf on my piece of scrap that I had. There we go. Okay, so all that would need is a sentiment, and that one would be complete as well. So here are the two cards that we created with the Build Flower Fashion Monger Dahlia. I will just pull that in. Yes, Sue, that one was watercolor paper. I mean, you could probably give it a go on normal cardstock, but when I do use a lot of water, I do find that watercolor cardstock is best. So this one is the Fashion Monger Dahlia, and you can see that because we have the outline image in there as well as the layers, it means that you're going to be able to do all different techniques with just one stamp set. You do get the matching or coordinating dies in with the package as well. Okay, so I'm going to move you guys up to. Also, if you do find that you're getting a lot of warping, you can actually just run that through your kind of die cutting machine. I would kind of sandwich it between two pieces of paper just in case there's a lot of water in there. But I do find that running it through will also help flatten it out, even if it's warm. Warm cardstock is best to do that too. Oh, Avril, don't worry. I hope that you had a nice bank holiday today. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Thank you to the lovely Kat for being behind the badge and adding in all of the little links that we've come across, and maybe adding some questions in there that I may have missed. I'm sorry if I do miss them. So everyone, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure, and I will see you again very, very soon. See you. Bye.